Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow. Oh, hi, Dana. Hi. How are you?
Oh, hi. Oh,
Listen,
I'm sorry. What was that? How am I? Oh, no, that was rhetorical. Continue.
I said, how are you? Good. Okay. Chris Lavoie, also single in this COVID lockdown, has a date with a fully vaccinated person in next June? Like a cable company? Like you'll be there sometime
in
between
June,
10 and June?
Like 2 weeks from now.
I think that's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
All right, 2 months from now. God, I'm just really screwing up my days.
Time doesn't exist in COVID. Time is it's not real anymore. You're okay.
Dana, I may have to take whatever offers I can get because, as you know, I'm a lesbian, but I'm not very good at it. Eric writes a real love letter. Steph, I'm a longtime listener. Till today, when I turned to Free Speech TV, I'd never actually seen you. You're kind of cute. I don't think he understands how to talk to a woman, but okay. So I was wondering how committed you are to this whole I'm gay thing, because I would like to put in a bid for the other side. I'm a handsome 55-year-old black man who's been locked in the house for a year. I've had both of my Moderna shots, and I know you will soon as well. I think we should make this happen. What do you think? Eric in Pasadena. Oh, geographically desirable. Has a penis. A little bit of a downside for me. I know, Eric, you're going to have to up your game from kind of cute. Okay, just lie. Something. You're going to need to... Dana, it's right. There was a piece in the LA Times. For some of us, returning to pre-COVID life is turning out to be harder than expected. I feel like I will be the last person out of the woods, the World War II COVID woods.
I definitely am not super comfortable with, I'm double vaxxed. I got the double ouchie too. I'm past my 2 weeks, but I'm still doing everything I've been doing.
Me too. Me too.
This is some PTSD stuff that we're going to be dealing with. And, approaching people, hugging people we know and love. It still is going to feel very foreign. And just still don't take risks you wouldn't normally do. Like, I don't have a need to go into a restaurant to eat right now. I'm okay eating on the patio and feeling safe doing it.
And by the way, guess who else doesn't? Dr. Fauci. I don't, I agree with you. I thought this piece was so striking. Shelby Bernstein, eager for life to return to normal, but she feels anxiety seeing people gather at parks without masks or dining at outdoor restaurants. She said she can't wait for life to get back to normal. In theory, but as COVID restrictions lift around the country, she's found herself feeling increasingly anxious. This is totally me. Maybe it's a Stockholm syndrome, except our captor is the coronavirus. She says we're also used to the mental and physical havoc it has wreaked on us, that any sense of normalcy feels wrong. Intellectually, she knows her risk of getting COVID in LA is significantly lower than it's been in a year. We were just talking about that with Dr. Redlener, right? That cases in the country have plummeted. 50% of the adult population in our state has received at least one shot. Bernstein has had her first vaccine a few weeks ago. She's not a hypochondriac or a hermit. She misses parties, getting on a plane to see friends, but she's still not ready to ease up on the behaviors that have kept her safe and given her peace of mind this past year. Medical experts say her concerns are valid. About 26% of Americans are fully vaccinated. 40% have received their first shot. I think we're up to 50 now on that, right? Dr. Redlener said. So that's good news. Where was I? Sorry, I lost my place. Right, but so blah, 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 blah. Where are we? Okay, right. Oh, there, okay. But she said this still leaves most Americans unprotected. At the same time, they note that for fully vaccinated people, activities like hugging or eating in a restaurant are safe, especially if vulnerable friends and family members are vaccinated as well. Although cases and deaths are on a downward trend in California, they're rising in other parts of the country. And with just about everything in this pandemic, family gatherings, business closures, schools, Angelino's feelings about the country's reopening run the gamut from elation to alarm. And that's where I think I am, some kind of middle ground where I want to be hopeful, Dana, but I'm also, again, because we're surrounded by so many COVIDiots and mask holes that are not vaccinated. So like one of my friends has gone to dinner. He goes to dinner with his friends out, but he said, well, it's outside. And I'm like, and he's like, they're all vaccinated. I'm like, right, but all the people there aren't vaccinated, right?
I think one of the things that we have to realize and moving forward is this vaccine, and they've said this, was never meant to keep us from getting it at all. It's meant so that we don't get severely ill or hospitalized, just like the flu vaccine. So this one happens to be the efficacy of it happens to be almost double, literally almost double what the flu vaccine is. It's only 50% efficacy. It's a hit or miss with the flu vaccine. This is 94% for most of us.
It's a medical miracle, Dana. And the fact that half the country still won't take this way out of this nightmare we've all been in.
It's mind-blowing to me. Listen, I don't understand it, but luckily in LA, thank God, like you said, we are below 1% right now. It's safer to be out. There's a possibility at some point they're going to lift the mask mandate, but you have to make a decision for yourself. And that's what we're all going to continue to do. How safe do you want to be? But we just have to remember that this wasn't a miracle cure of you're never going to get it. It's how can we go back to some sense of normalcy and know that we're not going to end up in the hospital and die.
It was like my virginity as a Catholic girl, Dana. It's just, I'm like, well, I've waited this long now. I've kept myself locked down for this long. I don't want to, go out now and screw myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so
have someone else screw you is more
screw you, exactly.
Right. Either way, my first.
Well also Catholic school virginity.
Catholic girls start way too late. Is that what?
It's a little fluid because there are a lot of things that Catholic girls do.
Well, I got super good at all of them. Yeah. Okay. Because you needed a loophole. Okay. So she's also quoted LA Times. I just want to see how much you relate to this, Dana, or where you are. She said, every time I see people eating out or hanging out with their friends unmasked, I cringe and feel hopeless. I hate feeling like this, but unfortunately for me and many others, I think this looming sense of dread will be with us for a long time. 49% of Americans feel uneasy about adjusting to in-person interactions once the pandemic ends. 46% say they don't feel comfortable going back to their pre-pandemic life. We've been at this routine for a year. To change out of it is going to take some time. Reentry is not as easy as it looks, said one expert. Now we're in this middle ground, and as every state, county, and community does something totally different, it makes it 100 times worse. Have all those people dining indoors or restaurants received the vaccine? In both Arizona and California, the answer is likely no. And so, that's it. Okay. And then finally, she says there's an enduring feeling of lack of safety and trust because information is constantly changing about the variants, the efficacy of the vaccines, or how long immunity lasts. I still have some chronic apprehension. It's hard to soften the fear. And I think that's going to be part of it, right? Some of it is, and we're all science and fact aficionados here. Right. But we're still like, and I get it that on the other side, they go, see, they keep changing it. So now that's bull. It's like, no, the science, this is all new, this pandemic. Right. And this science is all new. And that's what I think is hard for some people. It's like, see, you can't trust what they say. It's like, no, they are responding as we get more and more scientific information, right?
Well, those are people that don't believe in science on most things. The people that are arguing that, so there's that. We have to take that into consideration. And we just have to hope that enough people get vaccinated or have had it that we can reach some sense of herd immunity. And this is a non-issue, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just lastly, for unvaccinated people, it is critical they continue to do the things we know work, wear a mask, keep your distance. That's the don't want to get vaccinated are the ones that are more likely to also not mask and distance, right?
Right. And so they're in Florida at spring break, and I'm like, that gives me a little bit of a heart attack.
Yeah. And this
in Miami.
This quote, the one doctor said, if you're vaccinated, doing those things is very low risk. I don't know what they don't get about. It's for you. It's for you to do the things you want to do. Right? It's the return to normalcy is not a quick jump. It's instrumental. She said you might start with something relatively easy, like going to the grocery store with a mask on, then experiment with a small backyard gathering, later a meal at an outdoor restaurant. We all have different tolerances for uncertainty. Some of us may only feel comfortable if we can be assured we're 100% safe, but that will always be elusive, whether we're in a pandemic or not. I think people that are risk averse in the first place, and for me, I'm someone that was like so risk averse, didn't do anything, I haven't eaten or ordered in a year and a half, Dana. Seriously, I've only eaten food. I've cooked. I've not been to a grocery store. And then also because I traveled for a family emergency and got COVID, I have even more PTSD because the one time I did leave, I got it, and so it's, I think you're right. Everybody's experience is going to be different with this, right? Emotionally.
And I think the thing is, the CDCs, when they release their things, they're like, vaccinated people can now X, Y, Z. They can meet inside with their family without masks. They can meet inside with people that are not high risk without a mask. They can fly in airplanes. It's safer. But I think that the right doesn't see these as scientific things. They see them as this is what you get for getting vaccinated. And they're like, I don't care about that. But they're one and the same. Yes. this is also a congratulatory step for getting vaccinated, but this is all based in science. And I wish people would start seeing these things and going, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. I'll get the shot in my arm. But
right. Right.
I can't wrap my head around the anti-vax. So we're just in different boats, totally different boats.
Let me ask you, so we posted this piece in USA Today. Do you have a loved one who doesn't want to get the vaccine? Here's how to talk to them. And vaccine hesitancy, here's the good news, has substantially declined in the U.S. Since we first began the rollout last year. It obviously hasn't disappeared. 1 in 5 Americans continue to say they are not at all likely to get the vaccine, a figure that has barely budged since the beginning of 2021. And then, the Johnson & Johnson pause, obviously, this may lift, Travis, tomorrow, maybe even
possibly.
Yeah,
yes.
Possibly. But anyway, so that's caused, I think, some renewed hesitancy. But Dana, I don't know if I've had the experience. In my family, we have, 3 science fact Democrats that all got vaccinated as soon as we possibly could. And then, but I was able to make sure my mom and my brother got vaccinated. I was able to talk to people I love and out of love and concern, even though I'm a total Carnation Instant bitch drinking whore on my show. In person, I have been able to lovingly bring people. Have you had to do that?
I am glad
do you have friends and family?
Persona.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. In fact, my mom was hesitant. My mom is just one of those people that grew up, she doesn't necessarily get the flu vaccine. She takes care of herself. She stays healthy. She's not an anti-vaxxer, but it took a little talking, my mom into doing this. And after a while, she researched things. That's what she does. And she was like, you know what? I'd rather do this than have this thing take me out. Period. If it changes my DNA at 77, what the hell is it going to do? Basically, that's her theory.
Here's what I think, because I've already had COVID, and you're supposed to be 85% already vaccinated after 1 Moderna shot, which I've had. I think after my second one next Friday, Travis, I'm going to be one of your nerd superheroes. I'm going to have Spider-Man powers. I'm going to have bionic, going on. Right?
You're going to start going around licking doorknobs.
Yeah.
That's your power.
Uh-huh.
The power to lift doorknobs.
Steph's going to end up her powers like an invisibility cloak. And so no one can still find her. And so she still can't have sex.
Maybe people would even like the entity, like Barbara Hershey, but they can't find her.
Yeah.
You're the entity.
I will be the entity.
In order to see you.
Yeah. And then if they can't find the G-spot, it's not their fault.
That would be, that would be the ultimate. And that would be so on brand for me, right? Yeah. Travis is, if I finally get a superpower and it's invisibility and I can't undo it, and then I can't get either way because no one can. I'm like, no, not there. No, you missed again. Ah, no. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, but then we'd have tongues in our ear every once in a while, oh, Stephanie's here.
Well,
that's true.
That's
Stephanie
how you. That's how
Stephanie
you know.
Would be invisibility, sexually harassing people day in and day out.
That's how you'll know it's me.
You would use that to your advantage.
That's how you'll know it's me whenever you feel something.
But you know what? Lucky for us, she's a taker
and wet
and not a giver, so we're okay.
Every time you feel something hot and wet in your ear, you'll know that Stephanie Miller is here.
Uh-huh.
She will haunt you.
Travis and my friends that we bring by. You never fail to stick a tongue. You never fail to stick a tongue in their ear.
I will haunt your. You know what? You think I would have slipped one to Dana Goldberg? She is a hugger, man. When she's got you in that lock, there's a good chance of just.
I think you know better. Yeah, you know better. I think there was a time that it came real close after some wine, but you know better.
Yeah. Oh, I know. We were at something with Travis in West Hollywood, I think in a bar, and I started dancing with you. That was, I called it
That was
dancing.
when we launched the podcast.
I called it dancing.
We launched the Happy Hour podcast.
Was that it?
I don't remember that at all.
It was the Rob Reiner Happy Hour podcast. When we launched it, we went to the Abbey.
Most people that see me, most people that see me dance never forget it. Dana. So
no, you get comments on Twitter when you try and dance even on the show.
Yeah, you do.
Someone yesterday said I look like Martin Balsam falling down the stairs after Tony Perkins stabs him, and
yeah.
Well, it's also usually from one of our favorite black men that's like, ooh, on the 2 and 4, not the 1 and 3.
Yeah, by the way, spoiler alert, Tony Perkins stabbed someone in Psycho. Sorry. Thanks for whoever gave away that.
That's a couple of people.
I don't look like Martin Balsam falling down the stairs when I dance. I'm a good dancer, damn it.
You do. No.
I think I have a still of you dancing at our wedding alone.
I was the sad lady dancing alone by the pool at Travis's wedding. I
can just see you like in the corner, Steph, with like a bra strap off your shoulder and a cigarette. Like, I hope they're happy, and just like dancing by yourself in the corner.
That's me, but I don't smoke and I don't wear bras. But okay, yeah. But other than that, yeah.
I'll find it.
Yes, I do. All right.
Your Pasadena fans just went, what? No bra? That makes my life easier.
Well, that's because you're built like a surfboard.
Shush.
Oh, my God.
21 minutes after the hour. I hate all of you. And now it's 22 minutes after the hour.
Waxing.
That's how much I hate you. Right back with Dana Goldberg on The Stephanie Miller Show.